Hey everyone, this is Bisan from Gaza. I am still alive and here is some updates from the West Bank. The Israeli army for 5 weeks now has been military invading the West Bank, especially Jenin and Tul Karim refugee camps. Why refugee camps? Because Israel has obsession in the Palestinian refugee camps, because these camps represents the Palestinian return cause. Represents that these Palestinians are now refugees for 76 years and they must return one day to their lands. Which lands? The occupied lands in 1948, which they call Israel and some other genocide supporters, the state of Israel, which we call the occupation, the Israeli occupation. Unfortunately, not enough people are talking about what is happening now in the West Bank because everyone is happy celebrating the stop of the killing in Gaza Strip, while Israel, in a very smart genocidal colonial mindset, paused the genocide in Gaza Strip and then reallocated it to the West Bank. In the past couple of days, 25 Palestinians in Jenin and more than 10 Palestinians in Tul Karim were killed. We're talking about 40,000 displaced people just were ordered by the Israeli forces to leave their homes in Tul Karim and Jenin, and they did not return back again for 5 weeks now. The Israeli army is now trying to empty the refugee camps. Why the refugee camps? Well, the refugee camps represents the refugee cause. So if they emptied the camps, if they destroyed hundreds of homes, and I mean it, hundreds of homes, opening roads, divide the camp into small areas, calling it neighborhood instead of camp, that means maybe in a couple of decades or maybe more, there will be nothing called camp again, which represents the refugee cause again. So Israel is doing this, and how they are controlling the whole situation in the West Bank more than Gaza Strip, so you didn't hear enough, because there are more than 900 to 1,000 checkpoints separating the cities and the villages in the West Bank, so you cannot move, go somewhere or host somebody or do anything. And not just families who are not able to move freely, but also journalists, so no enough coverage or media coming from the area. So basically, Israel is changing the demography, displacing people again. I heard from my interview, some women were saying that we were displaced before from our lands in Haifa and Jaffa in the north of Palestine. Now we are being displaced again from a refugee camp, but to where? They are changing the geography of the camp and of the city, Jenin, Tul Karim, Nablus, and other cities in the West Bank. And they are changing the reality, creating a new reality that is controlled in a military way more, and displacing and taking over more land. So they just build more illegal settlements and bring more illegal settlers. This is a part of the Israeli plan to annex the West Bank. Unfortunately, it is working. For the first time in 2 decades, the Israeli army used the warcrafts to bomb targets in Tul Karim and Jenin and other areas in the West Bank, and also used tanks, for example, and a lot of battalions in the army. Besieging the schools, the hospitals, the neighborhoods, families, thousands of families inside the camp, destroying a lot of homes, detaining 15,000 people so far in the West Bank, and taken over 44% of the West Bank illegally. This is violating all the UN agreements and the UN resolutions and the international law regarding to the Palestinian cause. Don't be blind, don't be fooled, don't be silent. Educate yourself, resist in every way you know, boycott, make pressure on Israel, and let's end this genocide once and for all, for a free Palestine from the river to the sea.